Hey, my Resin-Nets, this is part 3. Welcome to my channel if it's your first time. And this is Sedroul's Emporium Disaster Station series. Love it. So here we go. I've just put this on here, but I think I want to like spread it. I put like a chunk of the first piece was just too big. So I left it there. So now we'll go and see if we can use this. Trying to take out as much as I can. And then to use what I have here. Like I said, this stuff just, you know, it can fly. If you let it loose, it floats. It actually floats in the air. So here we go. I think that's all I'm gonna put here. With the gold leaf. Clean my utensil. It looks so pretty though, kind of. I mean, for a little experiment. And you guys are experimenting with me. So I feel like you're keeping me company, which I love. You know, because I talk to myself often, and I understand that, you know, even though people might think that's really weird, I don't think it's weird. Okay, so look, I'm going to go ahead and cook this, cure it, and then it's not really moving, which is great, really, to be honest. I have to move some of this. I have to move some of this stuff, especially the little embellishments I put in here. So I have to like push them down. I got the 3 rhinestones in there. I know, and everything. I'm trying to push down so that they could be covered by the resin, you know, before I put the next layer. And I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I think it does. I mean, you guys can give me your opinion, you know, regarding it. I'm just trying to move things around before I freeze it. So here we go. Let's go ahead, see what happens here. So we're going to do this and see what happens here. Like I said, this disaster station can be quite disastrous. Never stare at this light. I don't know if it does the same thing if you're staring at it while you're watching a video. But if you're doing it yourself at home, don't stare at the light. Never put anything inside of your own mama ship without gloves, okay? There's a reason for that. And I'm going to tell you what it is, and not too many people do tell you what it is. But I'm going to tell you what it is. The UV that comes from these mechanisms actually wrinkle your hands in advance. I'm talking, your hands will wrinkle way before the time for it to wrinkle, okay? So don't put your hands inside of mama ship or any instrument, even the torch, which I use once in a while. I will not use the torch without my gloves. No way, shit. Anyway, do that and don't stare at the light. It does have a form of radiation, and this is why Mama Ship, and she knows it, is covered. Okay? Because I don't want her shit hitting me. So there's no way, Jose. So now, dang, I forgot to put the timer on. So I got less minutes, guys. So here we go. Let me check it. Wow, okay. It looks like, here. Do you want to say it's hard as a rock? Huh? Okay, so this is what it looks like at this time. Which I think looks pretty cool. And I have to put the next layer. Wow. It's a freaky ass piece of jewelry, I want to tell you. Okay? It's just freaky as hell. But it's an experiment. I mean, so you guys will know, how you could use a mica. Anything that has mica in it, okay? You can use to do this. And when I'm using the any bottle of resin, especially the UV resin, I make sure that the bottle is like as far away from me as possible when I'm doing these things, because you don't want to cure it. You definitely do not want to cure your bottle. So keep it away. Keep it at a distance. And now, of course, let's see if we could do this here. Again, I'm going to see if it'll cover areas here, but the thing is, I may have to spread it around because I don't want it to use this side. I don't want it to overflow on the bezel, you know. So let me get it all here. Trying to get the corners, because the corners on any square, damn, they're so hard to get, shit. And even if you tilt it, it's hard to get. Because it's like it'll hit everything except the very, very corner. So let me check here from a different angle so that I can check. Here it is. See, this little corner is not baptized. And so I try all around, but it looks good. Looks very good. So we are going to fry this sucker, cure. And I'm looking to see if this thing is leveled, because the resin, like I said, it moves. It moves around. Sometimes you don't want it to move like more to one side than the other. So this is why I'm tilting it here and there. And I see a little spot over here. Okay. I have to look at it from a different angle over here, because let me just tap the edges, because sometimes when you tap the edges, it goes right in. but I could always use another coat. But the thing is that, you know, you don't want to end up putting one coat after another, one coat after another. So here we go. Let's see. I usually use the torch to actually like stop it at the moment, because I use UV resin most of the time as an adhesive. And what I do is I'll use it as an adhesive just to hold, because I know it's going to hold. Once it holds, then I can continue with whatever I was doing, or even to pour more resin. See? So the torch has been usually my little man there that just holds whatever I pour. It's like an instant hold, so that you can go ahead and put the rest of the stuff on there. Okay, so this is the thing, guys. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of unique. But you can give me your opinion. Look how pretty it looks. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. Yes, yes, I like it. And like I said before, I don't want to hear any lip. Okay? Alright? Alright? This is a journey that we're all taking together. So I'm learning from you guys are learning from me, right? I hope so. I hope I can teach you something, help some of you out. But especially for those of you that are starting, because like I said, when I started, I was so freaking confused. And what I was doing was, as I was watching the video, I was actually literally purchasing the shit that they had on there. And then when it got to me, I had no idea what the hell I had to do with it. You know? Then I had to go back to researching videos to give me an idea. And for the longest time, I still had no real actual idea as to how to work with it. You know, until I gathered more and more information, like from the companies themselves. Yeah? From the companies themselves is how I got a lot of my information on UV resin, because I was used to, for several years, I've been using epoxy resin. And then I discovered when I started doing these here with the UV resin, that of course you could do the same exact thing with the epoxy resin, except that there's a waiting period for the epoxy resin. You know, as in my case, I would wait. If it's something this small, I would have to wait 8 or 10 hours or 9 hours before I put the next layer. But with this, like I said, if there's an emergency, somebody's birthday, blah, 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 you got it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I am going to use a Mama Ship for now, for this moment, because I want to make sure that, number one, that's cured, and it would be cured on both sides, so for no tackiness, you know, no tackiness. And I think that on the next video, even though it's going to be the disaster station, I'm going to address the tacky part of it, so that that you'd understand, or you might have something at home that can actually take the place of that tacky surface, so that you can, aside from this, from the tape, so that you can, on that tacky surface, you know, that you might have at home, and you might not even know you had it, that you could use that. And because I found several things that they're really great ideas. Now the other thing is that some of these tackies, you can only use them one time. Then there are other tackies that you can use perhaps for, let's say you have 3 open bezels that you're working on. The thing is that once you're done with all 3 bezels, you would have to get rid of that tacky pad because the heat system, this heating system, or this heating system, mothership, it reduces the strength, and so you'd have to throw it out. So it depends on how you want to economize, what you can afford to get, and what you have at home that you could use instead of the expensive stuff. This shit is expensive. I don't care what anyone says. This can get extremely expensive. You know, wow, it looks cool. I'm just going to turn it on the other side, guys, just for a few seconds because I want to make sure that the back is not tacky. Not tacky at all. So here we go. I'd like to show and inform you about these, which are marvelous. These are glow in the dark, and so that we can together see what it's all about. There's some specific instructions about the glow in the dark powder, because these are powders, but I do have a liquid. But there's a big difference between that liquid and these powders. We'll go through it later, so you'll see what I'm trying to say. Because you could use one or the other, but I find one a little more overpowering than the other. And it's funny because the other glow in the dark is actually an acrylic paint. But it's like a greenish color, and it glows in the dark. And you can add it to your acrylics as well as to your colorants and inside of the UV resin, which I've done plenty of times. I have little tiny, well, excuse this one, this is a fuck up, but I have tiny what do you call it, pyramids that are all, they have multicolors and they glow in the dark. Which is fascinating. It just fascinates everybody when they see it. They'll go, what? Is this glow in the dark? Yes, yes, it's glow in the dark. Well, well, my little time is up with you guys. But here it is. I just wanted to make sure. Hold on a second. Oh, this light is dimming. I've got to recharge it. But look how pretty this is. Oh man, the light is dimming. Anyway, here we go. See how that sticks all over your damn. Look how beautiful this is. Okay. Look how beautiful this is. I think it's beautiful. Now all we have to do in the back, because there was an air bubble there, see it? It's to add resin and then let mama ship again cook it, cure it, and we're good to go. But this is so pretty. I think it's pretty. You put your comments on the bottom. Let me know if you think it's a piece of shit. But I don't. If you do say that, I swear, I'm gonna get Mr. Toothy after you. But this is really cool. I love it. I think it's pretty cool. You have to actually, this doesn't, what should I say? Doesn't do it any justice. The lighting here, but it is pretty. Well, thank you guys. I'll be recharging this, and then on the next video I'll show this to you again under the light so you could actually see it. This pisses me off. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you for being here. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.